and welcome to episode 16 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Emilie Bjørnå, which I'm putting down here somewhere. And you can find a group for this podcast in Ravelry by searching for the Arctic Knitting Podcast. That is also where you can find the show notes. And you can also find the show notes over at my webpage, which is emiliebjorno.no. Recently, about 6 weeks ago, no, it's actually been 2 months, I have opened an Etsy store called EMILIES Arctic Yarn, where you can find my hand-dyed yarn, and I'm really happy for everyone that has been buying my yarns. It warms my heart, and I'm so grateful for everyone that is supporting my new business. Yeah, I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who's viewing this podcast, both new and returning viewers. If you are a new viewer, then welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. Today I don't have that much to talk about, but that's probably because I have recently started recording every week. Earlier I have recorded it's been 2 weeks between and sometimes 4 weeks, and it's been longer time periods between podcasts, but I have decided that I'm going to try to podcast every week, but that means the episode gets a little bit shorter. So we'll just have to see how this goes. If you are a returning viewer, then thank you so much for coming back. It's so amazing that I have over 800 subscribers on this YouTube channel now, and I'm blown away. I can't believe that there is over 800 people out there who is actually interested in listening to me talking about my crafting and my projects, and yeah. And thank you to everyone who has been reaching out to me, who has been following me on Instagram, sending me messages on Instagram, messaging me on Ravelry, and especially to everyone who has been active in the group lately. We have had a Knits for Kids call going on, and I really enjoy all the chatter in the group, and I seem to spend more and more time on Ravelry, which is really fun. I really enjoy the community that is building over there. So the Knits for Kids knit along, which is going on now, it is actually closing tonight. I'm closing the thread tomorrow, just because I know that the American people are somewhere between 6 and 8 hours behind. Not between me, they are 6 to 8 hours behind me. So I will close the thread tomorrow morning when I wake up, and hopefully it will be the 1st of September everywhere when I close that thread. So you have until the end of the day, if you watch this today, which is August 31st, you have until the end of the day to put in any knits for kids you have made in August. I have some prizes that I haven't brought with me, but there is one miniskein set with a project bag. It's a rainbow miniskein set with a project bag that is made by me, and there is one I'm special skein, which is my series of one of a kind. It's a really beautiful skein. I wish I had brought it, but I didn't. So the Knits for Kids call is coming to an end, and it has been really inspiring. I don't think my kid needs anything else. I have knitted one cowl for him, and I have knitted one sweater or pullover. I don't know what's the difference. And I have knitted one pair of pants. I have knitted a jacket, and the under sweater it's not done, but it's not close either, but it's going to be finished pretty soon because it's so much fun to knit that. For September, I was thinking I want to do another knit along because it has been so much fun. And being in the north, it's fall is closing in on us, and it is getting colder and darker, and yeah, so I was thinking that I want to do a shawl along for September. So I'm calling it SHAWLTEMBER, and you can join by, I will use the hashtag SHAWLTEMBER2016, which I'll put down here again. And you can enter that by knitting any shawl that you want. There's going to be no restrictions on the size or patterns or anything. You can knit any shawl that you want and join in. And I will find some prices. I just have to buy them. And if you have any wishes for what you would like to see as a podcast price, or a knit along price, let me know. I'm thinking that I will do a Norwegian commercial shawl yarn, and then maybe I will try to give away some of my yarn or buy some other indie dyed yarn, because I want to give away something really special for this one. So that's SHAWLTEMBER, and I will start that. I will open a thread in the Ravelry-group today, and the official start date will be tomorrow. VIPs are allowed, as always, in my knit-alongs, and I think I will run that until, I know it's a little bit weird, but I will run SHAWLTEMBER until 15th of October, I believe. I will put the exact date, it depends on, I think I will close it on a Tuesday so that I can announce the winner on the Wednesday when I podcast. But yeah, it is going to be it's going to last for somewhere around 6 weeks. That way, I find that I'm never done at the end of the month. So I'll give you a couple of extra weeks, and that way you might, if you are one of those person that is always done knitting until the end of the month, when the knit along ends, then you can just cast on another one and get another entry, because you will get one entry for each shawl that you make. So, since we are talking about shawl, I will talk about what I'm wearing. Many of you will recognize this. This is my own design, and it is just finished. I haven't even woven in the ends. This is Diamonds and Pearls, I'm going to call it. You can see the lace. I kinda do have these diamond shapes, and then you have that little thing in the middle, which I'm thinking about as a pearl. So this is the whole shawl. The finished version is actually going to be a little bit different, because I'm moving this lace segment a little bit over there, and this one will be a little bit bigger, because I just my math wasn't completely well done, so I ran out of yarn before I was intending to. So the pattern is written up, and I am sending it for tech editing today, and when it's coming back from that, hopefully in a week, I will send it out to my test knitters. And I'm so sorry to my test knitters, because I announced this a couple of weeks ago, and you are getting it in a week, hopefully. I hope so. This is made from one skein of fingering weight yarn. It's my own yarn. It is my FJELL base, which means mountain, because it's sturdy. It is my 75-25 merino nylon, and this is only one skein, and you can see I can't fit it in the screen, but it is about my wingspan. Now, it is garter stitches, so that it is quite stretchy, and I blocked it quite aggressively. I know I don't find that the garter stitch segment lose their squishiness if I block it aggressively. It's not like it's still more to. I could have done it even more aggressively, but yeah. So this is the shawl by my own design. The colorway is Bubblegum. And the shawl, as I said, is going to be called Diamonds and Pearls. And for those of you who are fans of Prince, you might get that reference, especially if you have seen my last episode, because I dyed up some yarn before last episode, which I called Purple Rain, Dearly Beloved, and Late Minnetonka. This is my only FO this week, but I have some works in progress, and this is one of them. So here are the yarn. You see the sparkle. This is I'm Special from my latest experiment dyeing. It has purples and greens and browns and beiges and different colors. And this one is the Dearly Beloved one on my... I didn't say this is on my FJELL base as well, which is my merino nylon. And this is on my Snø, which means snow, and it has gotten the name because of the sparkle, because of the sparkling snow. So this is Dearly Beloved on Snø, which is 75 merino, 20 nylon and 5% stellina, which I really love the way it's knitting up. So here are the project. So you can see I have gotten quite a bit done on the next shawl. This is also the same design. I'm ready to start the second lace segment, and this is going to be a bigger version. That's why I'm using 2 colors. So I'm thinking that the bigger version will be very suitable for yarns like this. Those pretty wonderful skeins of heavy variegated or multicolored sock yarns. We all have them, and I know I have so many of them, and many of them I kind of don't want to be socks just because the yarn is so pretty. I don't want to put it on my feet. I want to make something to wear up here. So it is perfect for using 1 color, 1 skein of crazy sock yarn and 1 skein of semi-solid or tonal yarn. So you can see the lace is in the purple, which is, yeah. I really enjoy knitting with this yarn as well. The problem with dyeing yarn is that I have so many beautiful yarns laying around, or not laying around, in my stash from other dyers, which I haven't been knitting because I want to save them for something special. And now that I dye my own yarn, I have so many yarns that I have made myself that I want to knit, and I have no idea how to get time to knit everything. It's kind of frustrating. I just want to cast on everything, and yeah. I'm sorry, I just had to. I'm not feeling completely well. I'm better, but I'm not well. So that is, I forgot to say that I use my Cubics needles, and I use 4mm needles for these shawls. Both of them is knit on the same needle. So that's it for the shawl, and also I have been knitting a little bit on my opal socks. I have one done. Showed you this last time. My hoe. And I have knitted a few rows. I have about 1 inch to go before I'm ready to start to heel. And this is some opal yarns. I'm not sure, I don't have the band here. I'm sorry. I'll put it down here what it is. It's opal yarn, and it is 56 stitches and 2.5mm needles, and this is my Knit Pro Sings, which are becoming my favorite sock knitting needles. So I promised myself and you guys last time that I wouldn't cast on any more socks before I was done with that, and that when this is finished I will cast on, because I have an idea for a design sock. Of course it didn't go as planned. Because as you know, Mina of the Knitting Expat has just released, it's a couple of weeks ago maybe, she released the Beyond the Vanilla Sock Part 2. She has a Part 1 from earlier on. And she has having a knit along for that, and I really wanted to participate. And I don't go in halfway. I don't want to knit a pair of socks, I want to knit all 8 of them. So I really had to cast on. So I cast on using this yarn. Which is SCHOPPEL-WOLLE, FLIEGENDE Untertasse. I'm sorry, I butchered that, I don't speak German. So this is FLIEGENDE Untertasse in the colorway 2119. I have no idea what that means, the name of the yarn. If I'm going to directly translate it, I will say flying underpants, but I'm guessing that's not it. But I think flying underpants will be a wonderful name for a yarn. Why don't you use that? I know that I have read what it is, but I don't remember. Anyway, this is, I put in a picture of the skein here before I wanted up to this, because it was in a cake, but it was a very loose cake, and it seemed like it has been dyed. Okay, bear in mind that this isn't a loose cake, but it seemed like it, and it was bigger, much bigger, that it had just been in a cake, and they had used a syringe or something to dye this part blue, this part yellow, and this part grey, so it has like chunks of color in the cake. I decided that because it was such a loose cake, I wanted to wind it up into tighter balls, because I knew that it would just become a mess. And I don't know if it was me that hadn't read the description or what happened. I have no idea what happened. But I know what happened, I just don't know why I didn't realize that what happened. Because when I started to wind that yarn, I realized that it is 2 strands together. The yarn is like this. It's 2 together all the way through the skein. So it's perfect for Mina who knits 2 at a time socks. For me that knits socks on sock knitting needles or double point needles. It's not that perfect. So what I did was that I just laid the cake on the ground or on the floor, and because I have 2 ball winders, because one of them is old and not behaving very nice, I just set them up next to each other and I started like with both of them, and it didn't went well. I will put in a new picture of what the yarn looked like after a little bit of trying that. So basically I spent like 6 hours of trying to make this yarn into 2 hand-wound balls, and I don't like knitting with those because they just go everywhere. So after that I had to go upstairs again to make it into these beautiful little yarn cakes. So I have 2 of those, the other one is upstairs, so I won't show you, but it's basically the same. So this is, I have actually knit 20 rows of rib. Normally I use 10 or 15, but I decided that I was going to use 20. And this is the pebble socks, which is number 1 of the 8, because I could just might as well start with number 1 because I'm knitting all 8. And this is the back, which shows off the yarn. And I kind of wish that the yellow one had been green and the black one had been yellow, because that way I could call it my Northern Light socks, because it seems like it will flash in a Northern Lighty way. So I'm really enjoying this. I just cast this on last night, that's why I haven't gotten so much more done. And because my Knit Pro thing is busy in the other socks, I'm using my carbons, which I also love. Basically I like all knitting needles. I don't have any knitting needles that I really, or I do, but I don't knit with them. I have those bamboo needles that I bought when I first started knitting. I bought this big set of needles with like everything from 2mm, every size from 2mm until like 8mm in one set, and I was so pleased with getting all these needles, and I think I paid like $3 or something from China, and I started knitting with them, and I knitted with them for not very long, but a little bit, and I really hate them. They just, the yarn won't slide, and they bend, and they breaks, and yeah, I don't like them. I still have them. I actually use some of them to poke cakes whenever I'm baking, and if there's something stuck in the drain, I will get one bamboo needle to put down the drain, and I will just throw it away after. So that's what my bamboo needles is used for. But all the needles that I use, which is, I use carbons, and I use Knit Pro things, and I use the Symphony Wood needles in both the normal ones and the cubics one, and I really enjoy them all. I don't have very much of metal needles, but I would really like to try some higher sharps, just because I hear everyone's talking about them and I kind of want to try. So I think I might have to see if I can find someone to order those, because I don't think they are easy to find in Norway. So because this is much what we have in Norway, and bamboo and some pony, I think they're called, like plastic, metallic. I have no idea. I don't like them. But I would like to try to knit with some more high-end, better metallic needles. Just because I haven't tried that. I want to see if I like it, of course. So my last work in progress, I have mentioned before this episode, and I have talked about it in the last episode. I hadn't cast it on last episode, I had it on already. And I have talked about it for like 10 episodes before that. Because Laura of the Diaries Notebook, she made an under sweater. This is the yarn I'm using. It's again my own yarn. This is the Snöbase. You can see the sparkle is kind of hard. Yeah, there it is. Sparkle and sparkle. And this is the, I think I call it beautiful Beautiful Mornings or something like that. It's something about morning. I don't remember the name of my own color. Beautiful Summer Morning or Wonderful Summer Morning. Something. It's a summer morning. And this is the Lake Minnetonka. Which I got a message saying that, or I'm not sure if it was a message or if it was a forum post in the Ravelry group. Said that, I love your Lake Minnetonka colorway. It looks so much better than the actual lake where I visited today or this weekend, or she had just recently been there, and it looks so much better than the actual lake. And I was like, it's really a lake? I just thought it was like one of those random names from Purple Rain. I had no idea that Lake Minnetonka actually existed. So this is Lake Minnetonka, but it is prettier than the actual Lake Minnetonka. So I have started the Underpants sweater, and I'm so glad because I wasn't sure if I was going to use a baby blue or if I was going to use a white just for the bottom of the sweater. This is a pattern by KERR. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And I have a stitch marker, which is just a little mitten, which I find perfect for this. So I have just gotten down to, like, this is the night sky and you have the snow. And I will just start some little trees. And I think this will look so pretty. But it is quite sparkly. It is for my 1-year-old boy, and it is quite sparkly. So I think this might have to be his Christmas sweater. So that is how that is going. I'm using, what is this? I think it's 3.5mm needles, and it's a fingering weight yarn, and the patterns actually call for a sport weight yarn, which I didn't realize until I had one the yarn I was ready to start. So what I did was that I made a swatch, and I figured out what my gauge was, and I measured on my boy how big he would need to have it with a little bit. I think I put on 2 inches of positive, so we will have a little bit. And I realized that I had to knit to make it fit, because I don't want to mess around with the stitch count because of the way the charts are made up. I wanted to make a size that so that I didn't have to do too much thinking to make it fit. So I realized that I had to knit 2-year-old size to make it fit for my 1-year-old, so that is what I'm doing. And it looks so pretty. I can't wait to get this done. I so want to try it on him. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about this. It has this little thing upstairs up in the neck where you have buttonholes, just tiny little buttonholes for tiny little buttons to make it fit in this area without being too tight over his head. And I have seen that, because this is 2-year-old is the biggest size, and I think newborn is the smallest one. And there is always like, should you put buttons on on clothes for a newborn or a 6-month-old? But you could just put it that way. Use this way as a front and have the buttons in the back, which will make the problem a little less problem. It will be a little, yeah. I'm just going to before I make a mess out of this. But you could use it either way. So I will use it with the buttons in front because he has stopped putting things in his mouth, and I would just secure them extra. So that is the Underpants sweater by KERR, and it is one of my absolute favorite sweaters. I want one of those myself, and I think I might have to. Maybe I'll have to try to. You couldn't just up the stitch count, you would have to make the charts and everything, because there are little trees, and on a 1-year-old it will like go across the stomach like this, and on me it would just be like this tiny little. So I'm thinking that I would really like something like this myself, because it's so pretty, and I have been showing this off to everyone. When I meet people at the store and we start talking about knitting, I say, you have to see what I'm knitting, and then I take up my phone to show them the picture of the finished, of the like the pattern picture, and everyone says, "Oh, that's pretty," because it is really pretty. So yeah, I did a mistake. I knew there was one other thing I was going to say, because the pattern said, like, when you divide for sleeves, I'm not giving away too much because it's a paper pattern, but it said that knit until the first mark, this was the beginning of the row. It said cast on 2, knit until the other arm, cast on 4. And I just read cast on 2, and I just assumed that it was going to be 2 underarms, but it was actually going to be 2 for 2. So I just cast on 2 extra stitches, and I had knitted about as far as I am now before I realized what I had done. So I just dipped back to here, and I just decreased 1 stitch, 2 stitches on each side. I was debating a little bit because I kind of don't want to take the easy way out with this pattern because it's so pretty and I want it to be perfect. But have you seen a baby? They have quite big stomachs, so I thought that it will be okay. And it really is. It's 4 stitches, and I can kind of see it, but I don't think it will matter when he uses it because he is, you know, babies, they are plump in the middle. So that is the Anders sweater from SHAWLKAL, which I love. It's just those two. That and my shawl, that is basically what I'm working on these days. For acquisitions, I don't have anything. I am, however, going to show you the yarn that I talked about last week. This is handspun. It's on the other side, the camera keeps. This is handspun yarn from a Norwegian ship, and it is from Molund Småbruk, which is Molund tiny farm, I don't know, Småbruk. And it is from Villsaulam. I'm not sure what the English word for that. Ship. Yes, but I'm going to insert it here if I can find it. So this is basically quite local to me. It's about an hour drive, which isn't far when you live like this. And I have 70 gram of this, which is color A, and 75 gram of this, which is... Actually, it's not the color. I just realized that she just put an A on some of those to see the difference from other. So it has no meterage. It is 75 and 70 grams, and it's one of each color. And this is not something to put to your anything. I'm thinking this will have to become mittens or socks. Even though it isn't nylon in it, it is Norwegian wool and it is quite sturdy. This is the... I think this is the sheep because the mountains looks like it is in Gratangen. So it is quite sturdy. I'm really excited to knit this up. It is maybe a DK or worsted weight or something. And I'm thinking that it has to become mittens or socks just because I couldn't possibly wear it up here, or especially not on my forehead. So maybe mittens, because this is the kind of yarn that I don't want to put on my feet. Because it's beautiful yarn and it's handspun and I really want to make something to show off. And people don't see my socks because I wear shoes. Most of the times I wear shoes. Not indoors, but yeah. So that's it. And that is basically all I had to talk about today. I said it wasn't much. I don't think I have anything. Yeah, it's only been half an hour and I'm going to edit out some of this because I have been sniffling a lot. So I'm just going to show you this. You can see my sock yarn blanket is growing. It is now... ...88, 96, 99 squares actually. This is 99 squares of sock yarn. So you can see, it's kind of hard if I do it like this. This is the line. This is my own yarn, which I have used for my own project, or yarns that I have dyed myself. And this is yarns that I have gotten from swaps. And this part, I miss one square there, and then it is, and then this part will be 8 by 8. So I'm going to put in that one square, and I will start working on the other side to make another, because it's going to be across. This is just half. And I was thinking now that I have 8 squares across, so I'm going to make it 8 squares the other direction, and I will start working on the other 4 8 by 8 squares, or other 2. One of them is done, the other one is about halfway, but that is where I use my own yarn, so that one goes a little bit slower. And I will start working on the other one to square it off, and then I will just start working it that way, and before that I will take it up to lay it out on my bed to see how many squares I actually need. But I think it's somewhere around 400. So yeah, I haven't been working on this in quite a while. It's been even longer since I showed it to you, but I'm not sure. These are the yarns that I have gotten from swaps. You can see there's so many beautiful yarns in here. And these are the yarns that I have from my own. This is from a hat. This is from socks. This is my own hand-dyed yarn in some sun color, I don't remember the name. This is my creeper colorway. This is, oh, you know this one, I talked about it before. Another crafty girl. Commercial yarn that I used for a hat. Commercial yarn that actually my mother-in-law used for my boys' mittens, but it is going to be in here. This is Yarn Enabler. My own hand-dyed in tweed base. This is Musky Vegan in the Boogeyman colorway. And my own hand-dyed, which is these 4, that one, or this 4 is my first dyeing experiment, and these are dyed with like food coloring. So that is my sock yarn blanket. Because I am starting a shawl on, I thought that I would give you some inspiration. So I'm just going to insert some pictures of shawls here, and I will talk a little bit about them. This is all shawls that are in my queue and shawls that I want to make. The first one is Wilde Smer by Kristin of the Yarngasm podcast, also the dyer behind Woolen Wine. And it's such a beautiful pattern, and I have been wanting to knit that forever, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Or not forever, because it's a quite new pattern, but since I first saw it on the podcast, I have been wanting to make that. I even debated a little bit with myself if I should sign up as a test knitter, but before I could decide, it was full. So that is the Wilde Smer. It is a beautiful lace shawl with a knitted on edge, and everyone who has knitted this said that it is, even though it is a knitted on like an after edge, you know, where you knit the shawl and then you knit the edge around. But everyone who has knitted this said that it is actually a quite fast knit, even though you have to knit the edging at the end. So I want to knit that. I also want to knit the Waiting for Rain by SILVIA BUBBLEGUM, which is stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I know that many people have already knitted this because Kristin did knit along for it, for just this shawl quite a while ago. And it is a beautiful garter stitch with some short rows lace panels in it. It's just beyond gorgeous, and I'm just having to insert a photo because yeah, there's no way I could describe it. Those two you have probably all heard about. Also, I have been having the My Heaven by PATUSHA, which is a Russian pattern, but it is translated into English, and it has been in my queue like for years, and it's such a pretty lace shawl, and it's just as, I don't know, I don't think it's very advanced, but it's knit with lace weight yarn, and it's so delicate, and it's gorgeous. Again, just look at the picture because I can't really describe. I don't know how to describe it, but it's gorgeous. And I'm thinking lace weight yarn for that one. Maybe in a solid color or semi-solid tonal color, and I'm thinking it would look gorgeous in like a dark blue or grey. Blue, definitely blue. Yes. Also, earlier I have knitted Stripe Study by VEERA, who is a Finnish designer, and I decided yesterday when I was picking out these patterns, I decided that I need to have one of her patterns because it's not a lace shawl, it is shaped with short rows, and not 30 diamonds, then Stripe Study, which is the one I have made, is it's a triangular shawl and it's just stripes, but it's kind of shifted a little bit. I will insert a photo again. She also had Color Affection, which is kind of the same thing, but it is a crescent shaped shawl, and it's so pretty, and I really want to knit both of those again. Or I want to knit Color Affection for the first time and Stripe Study I want to knit again in different colors, because grey and red isn't really colors that I tend to wear. Or grey is, red isn't. Not pink either. This is for you guys. I don't normally wear pink. Also, I wanted to mention that, you know, Mina PHILLIP has quite a bit of patterns. My absolute favorite of her shawl patterns is Across the Pond. Melanie BERG. I don't think I would put in some photos, but I think everyone has heard of her. And those patterns they are not lace patterns. Mina's is quite easy, simple lace. But Melanie BERG it's kind of a different style. I don't know, it's different. And I will link all of those and probably some more in the episode thread, or in the knit along thread, so you can go on over there for inspiration. And I hope that everyone else that is planning to join the call will get on over there and tell me which patterns you are working on, what you are casting on, and what you want to make, even though you are not going to make it during this knit along. If there are some shawls out there that you really want to make, like maybe you have an advanced lace shawl that you really want to make it, but you're just not in a place right now to knit that kind of advanced lace, share it in the group. Maybe someone else wants to knit it, and I really want this thread to be like packed with inspiration. So yeah, that's it for the shawl inspiration. And again, the shawl long is starting 1st of September and it is running until middle of October sometime. And I hope many of you will join. And double dipping it's not just allowed, it is encouraged. If you're planning to double dip in other calls, let me know in the group, and I can link them upstairs so everyone can double dip. Let's share that. Yeah. And if you are a maker or a dyer or a pattern designer and want to donate a price for this, just let me know. As I said last time, you wouldn't have to send it to Norway because it's quite expensive to ship to Norway. Just send me your photos, I will announce the price and you can send it directly to the winner. That way we will both save shipping. Of course, if you want to send it to me, I'd be really happy to hold on to it for a little while and squish it a little bit, and yeah. So, yeah, it feels kind of weird begging for prices, but it would be really nice if I get some donated prices, because it's getting quite expensive to give away stuff and buy everything myself. Also, I am... no, nothing. Forget about it. I have no more to say. I will talk a little bit about Norwegian living, which isn't much. If you have any questions, because I find it quite hard to talk about the Norwegian living, because my life it's not happening very much. Every week is basically the same. I spend much time at home and much time at work, and I play around with my kid. But if you have any questions about Norwegian culture, or the Norwegian way of living, or living in the dark ages, the darker part of the year or living with Minna or anything, just head on over. There is an Ask Me Anything thread or questions and suggestions, I think it's called, in the group. Ask me there and I will answer that in the Norwegian living segment. And now, as I said, it is 31st of August. It is almost fall. The nights are getting quite dark here. Now it's actually, you can look out the window and see that it's dark. And I love this time of year, both this and the spring, when it's light at the day and dark at night. It just makes it so much easier to be awake when you need to be awake and be asleep when you need to be asleep. But nights are getting darker. It's get darker around like 9 in the evenings now, and it is light when I get up. So I'm not sure when the sun comes back up. It has been raining and grey. I'm looking out the window. The weather is not something to brag about or to write home about, but it is Norway. It is raining. Hopefully it will turn into snow in a month or so. Also, we have gotten new neighbors, because I live in not in a villa. I live in a house which is a duplicate, I think it's called. We live in one part and our neighbor lives in the other part, and we share a wall, but we have our own yards and we have our own grass and outdoors area. But on the other side there is a villa, and it has just been sold, and it has been moving on some new people. And you know what? It's a couple our age. They don't have kids, but she's a knitter. Yay! I have a knitter. And the lady that lives on the other side of the wall is a knitter too. There's just knitters everywhere. I'm so pleased with that. And they seemed like, I just talked a little bit with them outside, because they bought the house with everything in it, so they have to like move out the old stuff from the guy that lived there before at the same time as they're moving on. So I had quite a bit to do. But I talked a little bit with them, like over the fence outside. And they seem like really nice people, and I hope to get to know them a little bit, because it seems like, yeah, she's a knitter. Do I have to say anything else? So that's it for today. As I said, it's a quite short episode. That's what happens. You get shorter episodes when you get more episodes. But I will talk to you again next week, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It makes it easier for others to find me, and it makes me really happy when I see this. I know it really doesn't matter how many subscribers I have. I'm happy to do this. Even if it was just 2 people listening, I would be happy to do it. But it's so much fun to see that I'm getting on 1,000. And when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I am definitely doing a huge giveaway. So, yeah. I don't think it goes quite fast now. A couple of weeks maybe. And yeah, and I will talk to you again next week, and yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Bye.